What's going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age Mythology of the Titans action. Spawning the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. He is the self-proclaimed OdinKing, the 12th OdinKing to have ever lived. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Squash. He's from the F2 clan. And there's been people in the chat talking about him today, saying how good he is. This is played just before the Set nerfs, just before 4.0 came in. And obviously Squash just wanted to get some final abuse in there before Set was absolutely obliterated by the gods, Chrono JJ, by the god Chrono JJ and his patch team Nerf Hammer. The baton, Nerf baton, is probably more suited. If you didn't know, Chrono JJ is a real life police officer. He has a baton, so it's now going to be affectionately known as the Nerf baton. Anyways, no talking of nerfs here. This was 3.0. This was full-powered Shifting Sands, full-powered Pharaoh, full-powered everything. We'll see what Squash can do here and what OdinKing is going to do in response, because people are getting very, very innovative with their Norse play in order to deal with the Set play, because there's so many people playing Set on the ladder, just getting free wins off the Norse because they just could not deal with anything. We do see a huge great hunt here for OdinKing. Yeah. He's got berry bushes here. He's sort of spread out his goat as well a little bit. So he can... this is going to be tough. So what you want to do, if we go back to 3.0, what you wanted to do was make sure that your villagers had a garrison point near the tower. So this is the wood you want to be chopping down. This is the gold mine, perfect gold mine with a sentry tower on top of it. And then this is the hunt you want. Relics on the map, we do have a Pandora's box and an Arrows of the Alpha. Actually, not a bad relic to be picking up as well for OdinKing. Definitely don't want Squash to have it. But that's that. We do see Squash pumping villagers onto food just like there's no tomorrow. He can build his temple up now, and it's looking like he's either forgotten about it or he wants to do something else with that gold. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. He should be throwing down the temple fairly soon. Yeah, I've got Squash over here now, converting that walrus. And there's the temple going down now with 3 villagers. If you just threw this down instantly, it would have been up by the time. I reckon it would have been up by the time he needed it built. And you could have got more resources. This was something that players were doing back. I think they still kind of do it now. And it's still perplexing to me. But they get a lot of villagers building the temple so that they can advance quite fast. But you can see it's a 4-minute advance time. He had 100 gold in 2 minutes, and if he threw the temple down straight away, he could have been very, very good. And there's the task. A 4-minute advance time through task. OdinKing throwing up his temple, a very, very late temple, so we may be into some very difficult times here. I do like the 4:20 advance time for Odin here in this matchup. But it's going to be like closer to a 4:30, especially because he's getting the ox cart as well here. You can share the trees while you're advancing, or just keep getting straggler trees as well. That way you give yourself a bit more chance. Now we're going to put us onto Squash's perspective and see what he's doing. He's been garrisoning the priests into the temple. He's going to get 3 priests out in the Pharaoh, so he's definitely going for this attack here. It's a Shifting Sands attack plus the priest, plus the Pharaoh, plus all these walrus, plus all of the animals that are going to pop out. We're kind of on the wrong side. We'll see if the Pharaoh stays back or not. Some people don't bring the Pharaoh. No, we are going to be bringing the Pharaoh. He comes out. A 5th priest. This is incredibly all in here from Squash. He needs to get some serious damage done. There's the vision. The villagers over here going to get pulled back into the base. He does have a lot of goat here. Going to be onto these villagers straight away, picking off 1 dwarf. Going after a 2nd villager here. He's probably going to... Wait, he's not focus fired very well right there. Going to be killing off the ox cart. So that's only 1 villager and 1 ox cart worth of damage here. But the gold will be difficult to get. And it's looking like OdinKing does not... Oh, he's got a gold mine over here. So it's actually totally fine. He can move over onto this location if he wants. Nice little defense there, but he does not have the resources to get Watchtower, and he cannot fight against this army at all. So the only real route that he has here is going to be getting Watchtowers up. He is going for the Longhouse straight away, and it's looking like Squash is just going to be able to leave here, or want to leave here. I think he could just come over here and push off these berries, force OdinKing to eat some of those goat that are next to his base that he probably doesn't want to be eating just yet. I actually think the other option would be to just move up and start eating the elk over here, because you know where the army is. Give yourself some chance for success here. Squash now probably going to be thinking about getting a second town center. No, he's building up a barracks. I like it. Very, very aggressive. I love the aggression. The Valkyrie's here though, spotting the barracks going up. That's huge. There's no priest in this location. The village is actually turning around and fighting. No micro either. Squash just doing all of this himself. Going after the Ulfsark. The house is not going to be able to get up either. Nice micro onto the Ulfsark there to prevent that one from happening. The village is still fighting. This is going to be 3 or 4 villager pickoffs here, but oh, the Valkyrie going to be running away. I thought it would have been better to just keep on picking off villages there, because Squash is already a little bit behind because of how many priests he's built here. He's done the damage. He's done some damage, but not that much. Raiding cavalry going to be coming out here into the longhouse, and OdinKing has got some work to do right now. There's the forest fire picking off another villager, forcing Squash back into his base. And he's got a lot of resources in the bank. Now the priest is getting picked off as well. Valkyrie going to be running around dodging those priest bullets, but she's not quite fast enough for that one. 5.5 speed. You need 6 speed for a priest to dodge that one. 6 speed. And the Valkyrie runs away. Nice. Nice. And Squash going to be leaving as well because he's under attack. Really nice play from Squash. I love that he didn't I love that he didn't overcommit to the defense, and he went to hit the hit Squash's food there, his forward food. So he's really punished Squash, who normally has all the advantage early game. Also getting a bit of free favor on that granary as the units making their way back over here. And I think this is definitely this is a fight you can take. You got to get those raiding cavalry onto the Pharaoh, and you should be okay. I definitely don't want to have the raiding cavalry to be attacking the animals there. Wadgy going down, Walrus going down, and Squash retreating here as the town center is coming up. If Squash gets caught here, he's actually shepherding the villagers over as well. The villagers get pulled off the town center, and they're going to be helping to defend this location here and start villager fighting. This is the Valkyrie is running around, going to be delaying this town center a little bit. The priest will be able to pick her off. One extra priest goes down. More villagers are pulled into this location here, and OdinKing going to be retreating in this location and then going after the town center. The raiding cavalry does get picked off, and OdinKing is not able to stop this town center from going up. But what resources are nearby here is the question. These elk here, there's no real food here for Squash. He is going onto these elk at this point, and what is OdinKing's next move here? He's got one longhouse. He's building up a second longhouse, but he's only got 43 population. Squash is at 31 population. So both players in a similar situation, but Squash, even though he's got this town center, he's still not able to really support it just yet. He's going to run out of this food very, very fast. He's got no villagers on wood to get himself Shadoof. He's not building any military units here. So this is all in OdinKing's court right now. If he can get some pickoffs here, nice villager fight there, getting a bunch of damage done. No losses just yet. The priest can heal that villager back off if they need to. Nice damage is getting done over here. I don't think you don't want to do the chip damage to the raiding cavalry because they will get it back from Odin's regen. But it's a nice villager pickoff there. Well played by OdinKing so far. Getting that harass done onto the only food source that he really has. There are these berries here, which wouldn't be a bad idea to be gathering from. I know they're berries and they're slow and all that, but better than losing villagers. Better than losing villagers indeed. Pharaoh now coming back into the army, but it's a Pharaoh against raiding cavalry, and OdinKing sees that. Pharaoh immediately goes after. A couple of spearmen are out now. They're going to help out quite a bit. Going to go pick up another villager. Super close, and he does get it, but loses 2 raiding cavalry. No, loses 1 raiding cavalry, almost 2. This one's going to run the other way. Should be okay. Nice marker from OdinKing to keep that all going well there. More houses now going up for OdinKing with no real thought behind them. I always laugh at this because Norse players get the advantage of not having any real repercussions economically for putting their houses wherever they want. So putting them over here, there's no real repercussions to that economically because the villagers don't have to run back to a resource. But it's in such a wild place. If you put them around your towers or back here, you're not going to lose them. You're not going to get punished by any of that. Now the villagers moving forward, looking to come onto the walrus over here. Somehow Squash is still defending his hunt that he desperately needs to continue building villages. And you can see he's sitting here with 0 food, both town centers with nothing, trying to build spearmen and everything else, and he desperately needs this this food here. Now throwing axemen coming in to be trying to take down the priest. You have heavy or medium raiders coming in, so these raiders have become very much so more fierce, just because of their high base armor stats and their low HP or low base HP. You get so much more effective HP by getting the medium raiders than any other cavalry unit. At least I think. I mean, I think that's how it works. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. And now the throwing axeman going to be trying to take down the spearman here, and he's doing a really good job. There's no slingers in this army. It's got a priest trying to pick off the throwing axeman and everything else. The villagers are going to have to run away from this. Does pick off another villager over here, and this is just looking awfully bad for Squash. He's got a little bit of gold in the bank to build some farms. He does have these berries that he can munch on, but transitioning to farms, it's going to be tough. He could just jump onto the wood, get his... Well, he doesn't even have a monument to the village, so he can't even get Shadoof here. This is not looking good for Squash. He's going to have to pull out some magic here or hope that OdinKing makes some serious missteps. Now throwing axemen making their way over here. I'm not sure if he's looking for a town center. He doesn't really have the gold income for a town center. Maybe he can. He's just not going to build the houses. Going to get a house and then get the town center up. Spearman raids onto the food here. Can come over here and eat these walrus if he wants. Why are you run the throwing axeman over here? Yep, kill the ox cart. Huge. Every time you kill off an ox cart, that means you've effectively killed off half a villager as well. Yeah. Plus it's 100 resources, which is huge. See the raid onto the watchtower over here. Can start picking off the gold mine. There's another gold mine over here as well, though, so it's not going to be the biggest of issues. Some slingers have made their way out as the villagers try and pick off the wars. But where'd the rest of the villagers go? Just back home to eat the goat. If he's got husbandry, he does have husbandry. And taking down the watchtower here as well in the back. And there's the armory for OdinKing. So we're going to be seeing a heroic age before the second town center for Norse players. Very, very bizarre. Potentially going to see Njord here actually. This could be huge because it gives there's a lot of priests though. And maybe a bit of an overstep as Squash revisiting these walrus here, but he's going for the forward temple, and he's super close to advancing. He just has to actually the town bell. There's enough villagers here. There he is, and he's going through Njord. He wants the walking woods. He wants the mountain giants, and he wants to kill Squash so badly. This priest here, he's got 10% hack armor, 0% pierce armor, and these throwing axes don't have that high base stats to pick them off, so it's going to be tough for him. You can get this upgrade Axe of Muspel. No, that's only on EE. I was going to say it gives you an extra range, but it's only on EE, so ignore that. The raiding cavalry are gonna have to somehow prevent the priest who are completely out of position right now. Do we see the temple being deleted? We see the temple being deleted, which means a free mountain giant's gonna come out of this and gonna start bashing down that town center. And now the priests are making their way back. They were just searching for some raids, but there's nothing there to be found. OdinKing needs to think about transitioning into farms now. He's only got 2 goats left alive. Still has this villager chilling idle. He's obviously not going to fix that one up unless he somehow checks. Oh, that villager does fix itself up there. Fair enough. And now the army of OdinKing moving on. He does have Walking Woods now as well, which he's going to be using over onto this location, giving himself 5 of those trees, which do heaps of damage to the town center. Mountain Giants moving forward over here as well. Medium infantry coming in, going to give these throwing axemen even more damage. And that's going to be huge. Building a second Mountain Giant as well, making this push even more terrifying. But there is no way that this town center lives here. The throwing axemen super far out of position. The slinger's going to be able to melt through these guys. The pharaoh does get the targeted attention, but it's not going to be enough to pick him off. So he decided to run away. But the raiding cavalry now coming into circle around the back. Squash going to be trying to move. His priests making him move so slow though. The slingers need to be onto those raiding cavalry there. Onto those throwing axemen if he can. They do basically no damage to the raiding cavalry because they have 34% pierce armor. And that's 3 damage, brings it all the way down to 2 damage. And now the raiding cavalry are onto those priests and onto everything else here. Priests have to move away because now they're going onto the town center of Squash as well, who's going through Nephthys, but Nephthys will come through, no problems here. The raiding cavalry are going to almost pick off all of those slingers as well. And now the town center is under fire. Priests taking down the mountain giant incredibly fast. But these walking snowy pines also do a bunch of damage. This is going to be super close. We've still also got this Herso over here as well, sitting at 600 HP, going down. Villagers getting pulled off the gold mine, going to be attempting to repair that town center there. Another mountain giant here as well. Could have really used that guy. Man, 400 HP right there. One big smack from that does 360 crush damage, and that would have basically killed the town center with a couple of extra swings of his big club there. It's a little bit of a misstep from OdinKing, but no ancestors left, no second town center for Squash. OdinKing going to be retreating back now, going to be trying to catch some of these villagers who are completely out of position here, but he does not spot them. Looks like they're going to build a Migdal stronghold on this corner gold mine in the middle of nowhere, and there is no villagers here to spot him. If we jump over to OdinKing's perspective, he does not have line of sight on this position here, so Migdal stronghold going up here, no problems. Meanwhile, OdinKing has no hill fort either for himself. He is on this gold mine over in the corner here. Starts a little bit of gold left over in his home base as well, if he needs it. He is going to be searching. He is searching. Want to try and get these ravens that you have, those free map hack ravens on top of gold mines if you can. He's got one here. I don't know where his second raven is. They do take a fair while to respawn. Oh, they're both over here because the temple's here. You don't want to be sitting here. You want to be on the gold mines, and then you can make a pretty educated guess that your opponent is somewhere else. And that's the thing. So we will see. We will see. There are heavy raiders in. This is when the raiding cavalry start getting very, very scary. And he goes out to the town center. Should be trying to pick off a couple of villages there if you can. Mountain giant still chilling. They have no real answer to this. These are slingers. Slingers against heavy raiders here. Just keep pumping out those raiders and then get in here and pick this off if you can. Somehow need to get onto that scorpion man with like some Ulf Jarls. Just some Jarls. Or maybe get some Herso out maybe. Because there's nothing to counter the Herso either. We do see the attack coming in right now, jumping onto those slingers, doing as much damage as he possibly can. The raiders do go down very fast though, surprisingly fast, as the town center is just about to get up as the mountain giant's trying to get around. He's too far away, but OdinKing's still happy to keep pushing in here. Squash could just garrison into this town center. There's no need to keep fighting this here, but he's going to be losing a lot of these units, and that's a really good trade there for OdinKing. We could potentially now make another mountain giant out of that temple, because I think it only costs, is it 300? It costs 250 food out of the temple there. So he could be making a couple here and then doing another attack over here. And we do have farms up as well. 23 farms here, plus still a couple of goat to be eaten. But now Squash is 3 town centers. Surprisingly, 3 town centers, but has no food economy to speak of. How did he get heroic age with no food? Was he eating like animals? He's making giraffes upset. This is insane. This is actually insane. Who needs to make anything? Oh, he's going after the pharaoh. If he gets that, that's the food eco completely gone. Managed to save the pharaoh as he's going to be jumping from side to side. Realizes how important that is. Nice play from OdinKing to realize that one there. We got some chariot archers here. There's that gold mine. He sees the gold mine, but he's going to be focusing on this location for the time being. Villagers pop out of the town center there. He has to check the gold mine to see it's not there, or like half of it's been mined in that position. Bunch of idle chariot archers there as well. OdinKing still trying to get some damage done. Pharaoh has been picked off now. No more food income. No more food income for Squash. And the chariot archers over here kind of going to be getting, well, not chariot archers, just raiding cavalry over here. Going to be getting sniped. Polar bear helping the army though, could be able to pick off one of those villagers and a spearman as well. He gets both of them. The polar bear. The blue polar bear. And now the raiders have found this location here, going after the Migdol stronghold. Maybe he spotted the chariot archers. Who knows? Coming after this, villagers get pulled off the gold mine. Going to be attempting to pick off some of these raiding cavalries here, who are turning around now, going after those chariot archers. Going to pick them off very, very fast. Nice marker yet again from Squash to pull these chariots back over to the other side of the Migdol stronghold, while OdinKing is trying to just beat his head against it and kill it, but it doesn't have any upgrades. These villagers get picked off very fast when greeted by those raiding cavalry, those heavy raiding cavalry. OdinKing is going through tier right now, so not Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok, he wants tier, he wants the economic advantage, he wants to really hurt Squash here. He's got 100 favor so he can transition into fenris or wolf broods. With that 100 favor could be absolutely key as well. We'll see if that's what he goes for. He needs to rebuild his temple, which he is going to be doing, and then he got to get them out somehow. There are still priests, right, for Squash somewhere. He's got them here. He's got 5 priests only. I don't think he doesn't have funeral rites. So this is going to be interesting to see how this works. Nice raid from Squash, going to be picking off a couple of those raiding cavalry. You can see how much damage they do, but it's just not enough when greeted with 5 of these raiding cavalry. We will see 1 getting picked off. So the trade's currently going to be favoring Squash on that location there. And OdinKing going to be retreating back to his base. And the gauge is awfully close. Squash sitting at 135 population, finally deciding to build some farms here. Has his God, he's got no economic upgrades. He has none. He's got Shadoof, he's got hunting dogs, he's got husbandry. No plow, no pickaxe, no hand axe, no nothing. Still building villages though. Trying to build villages. Still making purely wood-based units here. And the army of OdinKing coming after these chariot archers in the corner here. Remember, OdinKing still has this gold mine here, so he can return to that one now. Which is really smart, actually, going for that outer gold mine early when he had the upper hand. And there's the tier. He used that one instantly. At least you assume he uses it instantly. There he is. Gets a spawn, spawn, and spawn on all 3 town centers. Exactly what you want to see. It's going to force Town Bell on all of them, so that's 30 seconds of idle villager time there. And do we see instant fenris wolves? We do see instant fenris wolves. So these are some of the funnest units to use in the game, because if you get out 5, you get out 6 of them. They do so much damage. They're so fast. They're so speedy. And a raiding cavalry is going to be picking off those chariot archers as well. Hopefully he cancels production everywhere else and he's just making these. He is doing that. Happy days. Chariot or raiding cavalry coming back over here as well. Still trying to pick off this Migdol stronghold. Random fenris wolf gonna get gonna get sniped. No, don't do it. Run away. No. That feels bad. That's gonna delay this a little bit. These guys are just gonna be chilling here. Oh, he does run it away. He's gonna get away with a little bit of HP. All you need is 1 HP and his bonus supplies. You see it. You see them jumping up over here. We get to see how much extra speed they get. It is a bit. It is a lot. What's Squash's next plan here? Obviously needs to almost lost the town center to the fenris wolves as well. And we do see them all the hill forward up. Would love to see some. Man, it's funny watching this game. It's like there's a reason why Huskar are good against in this situation in this game. And these would have been perfect games to just go Scardy and get Huskal. Because your opponent can't afford to make Axemen because he needs to be building those 3 town centers of villages and he's got no hunt, he's got no farms, etc. But not happening for OdinKing just yet, but he does have this chaos that's going to be ensuing. Where are they? Here they are. They're coming in to help out. They're very slow. They don't have their buddies. 4 fenris wolves. Oh, he's going to lose it. No, run away. So low. Feels bad. This is not how I would use fenris wolves. You want to separate from your army, attack with raiders somewhere and attack with fenris wolves elsewhere. Because you want to hit somewhere with the raiders to get the attention of your opponent and then hit somewhere else with the fenris wolves to do the damage. Because they do so much damage. Getting some Jarls out though. Now, he doesn't have Ring Giver. We're looking up onto this gold mine. There's only a couple of villages here. Does Squash know about this back gold mine here? No, he hasn't seen it, but he's got to know there's one here. Now the raiders making their way back over onto this location. Jarls over here going to be hurting or besides attack. Surely you attack this. Nice micro from Squash to realize that that's not something you want to be doing. Fenris wolves searching up here. Only 4. They're still a bit slow. They do a lot of damage, but they're a bit slow. They can get caught out. 5 is the 5 or 6. That's the golden number. We do see the villagers getting pulled back, and you see how much damage they do. He's going to pick off 2 villages, and he's going after the low HP one. That's really, really smart. You can see the I don't know if that was luck or whatnot, but villagers coming out to prevent this town center from going down. Another fenris wolf over here. Another 2 fenris wolves over here. And you got to get them. They work in a pack. Special ability pack. It says pack in the name. You throw them away. OdinKing, why? Why are you doing this to me? You're my favorite units in the game. I mean, at least he's winning this fight. I guess. At least he's winning this fight. Every time he pulls this guy back in, it's like, this is a bad myth unit without a lot here. This is not good. 420 HP, 15 damage. It's nothing. It's nothing. Still building them though. Get them in a pack, and then they go up to 20, go up to 30 damage. With heaps of speed. No! Get it in the... Ah! Give me the mouse. I'm playing from here. Second town center up for OdinKing. He's trying to move around with the longhouses. And the Migdol stronghold has been picked off. Squash over here on this town center now. You do see the fenris wolves chasing down villages as well. Imagine if you had this one there. And this next one coming through. The forward buildings do get picked off. A couple of the stray houses could get sniped as well. Another fenris wolf coming out. The OdinKing needs to get out some. Yeah, he needs to get out some Ulfsark to get up this town center. Get out some more military buildings as well. And yet again, we do see these fenris wolves coming in. They're gonna get sniped. Villagers pop out. Feels bad. Could get a raid onto this gold mine now. It's the only gold mine. Well, you know that they're not over here because I think he checked there. Now the raiders are going after the town center with the help of those fenris wolves. This town center will be going down very, very fast. A couple of villagers coming over here to repair. The raid coming onto the gold mine villages of OdinKing, who's now grabbing his 3rd town center. We do see a couple of mercenary getting built for Squash, but it's looking like this town center will be going down. Still, the Great Jarls have no Ring Giver. Is that what it's called? I get things wrong from time to time. Yeah, it is Ring Giver. 25% extra HP is huge, but not getting it just yet. You do see the gold mine has been pushed off though, so that's going to be a big win there for Squash, but OdinKing sitting at 130 population, so if you don't pick off the units, it doesn't matter if he's got no gold. And what are the fenris wolves doing now? He's only got one original one left. Oh man. He's just running around with them. But the next town center will be coming up. It'll be very, very good for him. Moving around to the other side. Scorpion Man here with the spearman. This squash. He's at full population. He's going to be able to go his own mythic age here. He could go through Horus and get out. He's got a lot of favor in the bank. He can get out Greatest of the 50 and Spear of the Horizon. And be able to deal with these Ring Giver Jarls as well. They really stop being very good once the counter units come in. And now going after this town center as well. The market's up. Horus is coming through villages immediately. You're going to be repairing this one. Fair coming over to empower the town center. And we do see that this town center has been prevented as a bunch more Ulfsark came out. The units moving in. Well, the Jarls moving in, I should say. And pick off those chariot archers. We do see an Ulfsark over here with a longhouse just to keep line of sight on that town center. As we see a bunch of villagers making their way over to repair or rebuild it. Now the army has been pushed back. Surely you don't go for this now. You see this huge army here. We'll lose a lot of villagers. A couple of raiders coming over to be a bit of a nuisance. They take a while to kill the villagers, but if he doesn't spot it, they can get some good kills. If they spot it, then you just turn around and attack, and it's totally fine.
Rig.
It's just going to be flooding units over there as well. Town center almost up right now. Imagine if those were the Fenris Wolves over there though. Yeah, picked up all these villages. Still picking them off. Look at him go. Did lose one. There's the town center. Let's see if he moves over onto the 4th town center here. Where are you going? Still fighting these guys. Be able to pick off the Scorpion Man. That's great. Fenris Wolves going to be able to help out quite a bit. The priest is doing so much damage. Does not have funeral rites though. They're trying to run away. See the villagers making their way over here. Another raider coming over, almost picking off that villager there. 1 HP left. Horus has hit for Squash, who's now having to contend with the 3 town center OdinKing getting his Lone Wanderer upgrade for his Ulfsark. But the Avenger is out. The Spearmen are out. He needs to invest in Spear of the Horizon like instantly, right? Hasn't done it. It's not done it. Well, Greatest of the 50 straight away, not Spear of the Horizon. Greatest of the 50 is the big one. Extra 100% damage against cavalry. Goes up to 16.8 damage per second, or per attack, whatever it is, per second. The Spearman coming over here to harass again.
Into you.
Villagers getting picked off. This is what we like to see. Gold mines have both been pushed off though for both players, but OdinKing over onto this top gold mine yet again. He can just move off the farms here if he needs to. Keep producing villagers. Get that economy going. 3rd town center back for Squash though. He's just not able to get gold. A couple of markets going down. Maybe just start a trade route. It's gonna be tough. He needs both of those markets up and like 5 minutes ago. Doesn't have a lot of food though, I guess. Now the Fenris Wolves still running around with their pack of human units. The way you're supposed to use Fenris Wolves is you split them up from this army. You get like 5 or 6 of them, and then they can run around the map and they can cause havoc and they don't die. There's no real way for an Egyptian player to kill them because the priest is so slow and they have to leave priest on resources. And even if they do that, you can just send one in first and then run him back and forth and distract him somewhere else so he can't micro it or doesn't micro or misses it. But trade route's up for OdinKing as well, so he's actually feeling great at this point. See more military buildings getting thrown down. Still no ring giver. Just like went Njord for the just for the mountain giant, just for the walking woods. There's no feelings towards ring giver or Jarls at all. You can actually do some mountain giant raids as well now. Get a temple up here, hit this. But big issue for him in this game right now, if Squash can stabilize, is dealing with the spearman without the without that upgrade. What's it called? Without Hunter's Axe. Because these throwing axemen become very strong once you get the Skadi upgrade. Without them, they're a little bit underwhelming. Nice micro from Squash picking off those fenris wolves finally. There's still a couple in the back here, still picking off a bunch of villages. A couple of hill forts now coming up as well. And how's the eco up going? Needs to get irrigation. Needs to get, oh, he's got quarry. He needs to get coinage. And again, going to the wrong town center, right? This town center. A little bit better, a little bit better. Meanwhile, Squash has got his own gold mine over here. He's walled it off nicely. And then the trade route's going to start. They're both in the similar corner. This trade route's really bad though. You're going to see him get like 20 gold maybe for the camel caravan. Am I close? 33 gold. Oh, that's a little bit off. Spearman's getting picked off and Squash just ready to play for the late game here. Another Huskarl coming out. He can get bravery actually for these Huskarl. They can be really devastating. You have to. It's gonna force Squash to transition into building Axemen, which has got no upgrades for just yet. So this could be a really smart play. Spearmen kind of soft counter the Huskarl because they've only got 31% hack armor, but the harass upgrades don't really help them out against that, right? Spear of the Horizon doesn't. Well, the hack vulnerability does, and the other one does give an extra 10% hack damage. So a soft counter the Huskarl. Okay, some towers thrown up over here. That's a lot of resources invested into 800 gold. But maybe you can set up some ballaster or something. A couple of hill forts over here. We do see some Ulfsark trying to move in. They're going to see this is walled off. Spearman already reacting to this. More fenris wolves running around the map being silly. And Squash going for a huge raid here. It's not like these are axemen. If he gets the harass upgrade for the axemen, he could go in town center raid with them. Doing double damage against buildings is huge, but he's onto these villages here. Now this is kind of a blessing for OdinKing right now. He's got so many villages. He's actually got too many villages. But picking off his villages here could be the mistake, because that's going to open up population. I don't think he's building villages anymore. Some people would consider this good for Squash, but in reality, OdinKing's going to be happy about losing that population. Still needs more trade coming because he's sort of low on gold. He's spent a lot of it. He's got the Huskarl coming out, Ballaster now coming out. You have to throw up a wall to save that. Otherwise, I mean, the towers are great and all. He doesn't have crenellations either. The towers are great and all, but a mercenary cavalry will still kill this, or two, and then it's still an even trade, right? 300 resources versus 240. Put 2 mercenary cav. But we are seeing this getting spammed up here. We said an instant tornado, and these units over here getting picked off. Squash needs to deal with this forward build here. More ballast are getting set up. OdinKing has got a lot of resources. He could just go into just Ulfsark here for a little bit and spam those buildings up. Maybe the raid was good after all. He doesn't have his carpenters though, so his wood income's not as high as it should be. Villagers moving off the gold mines now onto wood. There we go. 60 plus villagers on food and wood, and then you have your 20 ox carts. Once you get full armory upgrades, you need to start thinking about deleting some of those because the Norse economy is really strong and the units are a little bit weaker. So you need to have a little bit less economy in the very late stages of the game. These towers still chilling here. We've got some units over here, some axemen popping out. OdinKing's gonna have to throw some buildings up here, make sure he doesn't get some sort of siege tower sneak attack going on. The axemen popping out now. Time to go back into raiding cavalry. I'll keep that swap happening. You see axemen, you build raiding cavalry. You see spearmen, you build ulcer, huskar. Very, very important to continuously swap those around. And axemen infantry is kind of what you want to be seeing as harass here for squash, because you can just build the axemen and you just kill everything because he can't build forward. If he starts building raiding cavalry, it's tough because he can still get these buildings up in the back. We are seeing him trying to build a hill fort over here. Maybe going to build some Huskar to hit the town center. I don't know. So much population over here, but not deciding to build the right thing. So many ballista, but no walls. Ah, I hate it. Get some walls, please. Some walls. You could go rams onto this, but it's gonna get shut down too easily by like 1 or 2 infantry or mercenary infantry. There's the catapult to shut this down completely. Still no axe of vengeance for the axeman. What's it cost? It's pretty cheap, right? Yeah, it's 300 wood. It's a must get. And I think it gives him, it's not just the extra damage, right? It's abilities. It gives him a little bit extra. Oh no, it's just axeman damage versus buildings. I tell a lie. Maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. But it's still very good. Still very good. Catapult getting targeted here. Let's shooting. Get that was almost like the sickest micro I've ever seen. Like a little whatchamacallit, step. Stutter step? No. Side step? Strafe. A little strafe away from the shots there. Dodging some of the arrows or some of the ballista. They did pick off these guys pretty well. They're gonna get targeted down. Axemen onto those ballista there. And the catapults still pushing forward. It's just seeming like Squash has found his footing here. Squash has found his footing. He's got his trade route. He's out of gold though. This could turn very badly, very fast, because remember these camel caravans, he's gonna have to have a lot of them. And how many does he have? He's got 23. This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough. Maybe needs raiding. He definitely needs raiding cavalry. Bunch of longhouses getting thrown up in the middle of the map. Still pumping out those camel caravan. But this forward build for OdinKing is falling right now. Another siege works for Squash coming up. And it's just amazing that Squash has been able to survive for so long. So well. Is there some sort of shenanigans going on? A bunch of hill forts going up for OdinKing. Catapult coming onto this town center. Still only heavy raiders here. What's going on with OdinKing's economy? He's got resources. He's got resources. Turning a bunch of villages into Ulfsar. Gonna be huge. Catapults throwing their catapult rocks at the longhouses. The Ulfsar going to be retreating or what are you looking for? I mean, he's got the information he wants. He can build towers here. He's looking to get in here. If he gets in here, it's huge. He gets in here with these towers or some barracks or something. He's actually got a really good position here to swarm this, to be honest. Squash needs to throw up his own towers in this location right now, or like 2 minutes ago, to be honest. This could be really bad if OdinKing makes the right decision here. Because towers here means no gold, a wall or something as well. Carried Archers moving in for another raid, looking for the villagers, but we do have villagers onto another gold mine. Squash has secured another gold mine here. I just can't. I can't with this guy. Absolutely out of this world. Villagers now getting picked off again. I'm not sure. I mean, he does need wood. I don't know why he's going on this wood. It's so bad. Here, 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 here. All better. But Huskarls coming into this town center. They do have bravery. We attempt to take down the town center. The Axemen are going to be clearing them out very, very fast. Still no Axe of Vengeance. Hurting my brain. Just make some Ulfsark. Make some Ulfsark here. Ulfsark. Click. Kill. Kill them all. Easy. Easy. Now the Axemen. The Axemen are actually like... Well, they trade pretty well. It's close actually. The Huskarl kind of have a lot of... Oh no. How much extra damage do they do? 300%. So it is a big difference. But they have more HP. It's a close trade. Where to now though, OdinKing? Falling victim to the the set late game. Feels bad. What's he trying to do? What's he building some Jarls? Finally building some Jarls. Still no ring giver, but he's building some Jarls. That's going to be able to chew through those Axemen. Which means the Spearmen are going to start getting built yet again. Or even have some boiling oil coming out. Very, very good. And the Huskarl come around the back. You could potentially kill this, or like build a side build here. Maybe. There's a catapult here though, which could be devastating. And bash through that gate. Could pick off those two markets. Just go for the markets. Yes. All right, OdinKing. No, he's going for the town center again. He might be able to get it. It's 14 Huskarl doing an extra 100% damage versus the buildings. They're doing 28.4 damage per second. Probably more like doing 14 damage per second, but with the armor. But there's not a lot of surface area on this town center, so it's going to be tough to take down. But the units are really weak here for Squash for some reason. Not able to, not having gotten those upgrades, having to rebuild those Axemen as well. Around both sides, going to be taking this one down here. Got a lot of idle units up in this top corner here. Got a catapult trying to come down onto this town center. This could be huge if you can get it down. Because these Huskarl aren't dying at this point. While the town center is falling, this could be absolutely gigantic. He does manage to take the town center down, because not only is this town center so important, but this is also the trade route, or the trade position. So we're going to see Squash starting to really struggle on the gold situation. He's got a lot of resources in the bank he can trade for, but I'm imagining that the trade resources, yeah, 33 and 18. So they're very, very low. Now we've got the Huskarl are all getting picked off here, but all you need to do is get out a wall here and some baluster, and it's never going back up. We do see a bunch of towers getting thrown up though for Squash, who's going to be desperately trying to defend this location. A couple of units running in here will get picked off by those hill forts, no problem there. And now OdinKing is picking off the towers, pushing through. Jarl's taking out some of those Axemen, and got to be careful not to lose this position here. These towers are bait. You need to set yourself up and keep moving slowly and force this town center down and force it to stay down. But he does have the population here to just flood, and a lot of economy as well to boot, with all of those ox caravans doing so much work for him. Now the barracks. No, gotta kill those barracks and just beat your way through and lame it up yourself. Make your own towers. Gotta kill off the catapult first though. It's seeming like it's working for him. Another Scorpion Man out, which will get very easily picked off by the Jarls at this point. Picking off the siege works. Pharaoh here. Lots of villagers flooding in. How many does he have? He's got 15 villagers here. Maybe more. No, just 14 villagers. Oh, 19 villages. I tell a lie. 19 villages plus the pharaoh. There's no ranged units here, so that pharaoh is going to be able to do all of the empowering that he wants. And Squash doesn't set anything up. Didn't get one single ballista. If you have one ballast here, you'd be able to prevent this. But it's looking like Squash is able to defend here yet again. You gotta get that town center back up, no problems. His spearmen coming back out to deal with those Jarls. You still don't have Ring Giver. He's sitting at 100 favor, no Ring Giver. It hurts my brain and my soul. But then again, Squash doesn't have his upgrades either, right? No Axe of Vengeance. No Greatest of 50. No Spear of the Horizon. He doesn't have that many armory upgrades either. He doesn't have his iron upgrades either. Oh, now we're building the Throw an Axeman. Throw an Axeman. You have to build them to take down the Spearmen, I guess. Yeah, we're just going to be bashing our heads into each other for a little bit here. You need to set, that's why I said you got to set up, once you kill the town center, you just build towers around it. Pick off any siege, build towers, build a wall, get a ballista, prevent it from going up. It's really, really important. Nice little raid here from Squash, but I don't think it's going to do that much. He's got so many villages already. I like he's only got 50 or so left, and he's got all of his upgrades up. And you need to have an excessive amount of ox caravans on this map because you can't put a market in the very corner. I'd actually have loved to see like a market up over here. To have the ballista going to be targeting down this gold mine, and once he loses that gold, Squash has been sitting very low on gold, to be honest. He's still got 800 gold left in both of those gold mines, but I think if OdinKing can hold out until this is just trade versus trade, could be a different story for who's going to be able to continue fighting like they are. The Pharaoh is empowering this now though, so while he's only getting 34 gold a trip, it's a bit more than you think. Throw an Axeman to be able to chew through these unupgraded, these heavy spearmen, not even champion spearmen. Does have iron mail though, so that's always good. We've got a mountain giant. He's made his way back in. Love seeing the 45-minute mountain giant coming in, be able to destroy this Migdol. It's actually like a fairly close fight between the mountain giant and the Migdol stronghold. There is a priest here though who could come over and just destroy him. No funeral rites, but he'd be able to come over and pick that guy off. Meanwhile, another mountain giant's coming in though. This is actually really smart because there's no mummies to stop this, and forcing out priests at this point is a lot of gold commitment. And you can make a big move in here. Picking off this Migdol, taking this location would be huge. Again, there should be some towers set up here by this stage. But Squashes have no resources, and yes, so is OdinKing. Got some more Huskarl coming in. Well, I love this matchup at this point because it's all about countering the opponent's units and just continuously changing what you're building. If you're not changing what you're building, then you're going to find yourself losing the game, or losing some footing. Migdol Stronghold has been picked off. Throwing Axeman over here can build up in this location now if they want. A couple of Huskarl. What's he doing? Building them into his... Always check that idle military button. Very important. And there we go. Watchtowers now coming up in this spot here. That does get killed off very, very easily. But we'll see if Squash can react to it in time. Some villagers over here trying to replace the market, but he's found the market of OdinKing. He's moving over with these chariots. He's got these villagers here which can build some towers for himself. The mountain giant will be falling. But there's already one tower up here, has crenellations, has iron weapons and architects. These chariot archers will be getting picked off here. A couple of watchtowers going down as well in this location. The Pharaoh's no longer helping out. And these caravans are going to start getting stuck as well. Going through here, you might have to delete these markets, to be honest. In fact, OdinKing can move over here and put some towers here to pick off that market as well. And now we do have the villagers coming in to clean this up. Always an option, another Mythos stronghold or another hill fort going up for OdinKing. And Squash is just not able to make any ground at this point. Where does he go? Where does he go from here? Both those markets get picked off. And the army of OdinKing now coming in, going to take down the gate and then take down these markets as well. I love this idea. Just kill off the two markets. They take so long to be rebuilt, and there's a big advantage for him to be had there. And Squash, seeing a 154 population with very little gold in the bank, can find himself under a lot of pain here. See another watchtower coming up. The Huskal taking down the market. Pharaoh coming over here to rebuild this market. You gotta pick these up. And you see a catapult has come out. The Offsark will be able to get onto that one very fast. Huskal are going to be able to... they're going to target down the Pharaoh. Yes, that's huge as well. That slows down the gold economy even more. And you can try and pick off some villages, but really, picking off the villages just gives your opponent more population space here. Funnily enough, you just want to kill off the markets and make the villages idle as much as you can at this stage of the game. Now the Huskal are going to be trying to take down the guard towers as well. It's going to be another return to that Huskal takedown here. There's a bunch of units idle in this location though. Still a little bit disappointed. Like we killed off the Pharaoh, we killed off one market, but one more market has come back, and another one makes that two more markets replace it. So it's like a Hydra head of markets. An adventure coming out for Squash, but the Elf Jarls or the Champion Jarls. Legendary Jarls will be able to take that one down. Some watchtowers are now finally coming down in the front here. This is how you counter mercenary. Get the watchtowers out, they kill off the mercenary counter because they do so much damage. Crenellation is an extra 100% damage against cavalry, which is huge. They're already doing 10 damage, 20 damage, so it's like 40 damage against the cavalry. A shot. Yet again, still getting those watchtowers up here. Really nice play so far from OdinKing, keeping the pressure up. And Squash's camels are just running straight through this army here, while some are getting through. No, not even any are getting through. He's just picking them all off. This is really, really smart here from OdinKing, not going for the town center. Just stop the trade route, pick them all off. There's no gold coming in for Squash. He's sitting at 135 population right now. It's absolutely huge. He's not even getting through. These camels cannot pathfind around this army of OdinKing, who's just picking off every single one of these. Pharaoh has come back for Squash here. Does get a couple through. He's going to be deleting the extra markets he built in order to keep this trade going. OdinKing can now bum rush this market if he wants. Another hill fort coming up here in the face of this town center. You try and get it up. He may be able to. There's just no units here. Get your Huskal. Okay, kill off the guard towers. But you got to kill off the town center at some point. Axemen making their way back over here. Still only has heavy spearmen here. This is looking very grim indeed for Squash. He's going to be losing these towers, followed by losing his town center if the Huskal can tear it down. The trade has been fixed though, so that's good. But most of the trade was picked off there. He's only got 16 camel caravans here. That's why he's sitting at 100 population. And now the hill fort does get picked off, but now the Huskal are targeting down the town center, and it's going down fairly fast. He's actually queued every single one of those Huskal onto the town center, and it's going to be picked off. There's nothing that Squash can do to stop this one at this point because he does not have the resources. He can trade away the excess resources he has here, but that's only getting him like 18 gold a piece. So 1,000 gold is like 180, or sorry, 1,000 food is like 180 gold. 1,000 wood is 180 gold. And Squash Taps out. GG, well played. Nice one. Odin taking down the set in the 51-minute battle. Oh, what a game. Incredibly well played by OdinKing. Incredibly well played by Squash to survive. But then he just could not get his footing at all in this game. Always on the defensive after that initial aggressive attack. And not able to secure his middle hunt either. So, GG, well played. Happy days. Happy days.